Greetings, everybody. This is Jay Wicker with the gang here. We ain't gang. We game. You
Gang,
know
gang.
what I'm
Gang,
saying?
gang.
Real estate aholics, guy. We right back at you guys, man.
On the
So
click. This
you
the
guys
click.
been waiting on it. You know, we back. We back.
For sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So before we get started, I was letting everybody know, man, that I had a first official hater this week, and I'm so proud of myself. I feel like I'm one of the team now. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk
I
about
hope
that later
I
on.
hope he's listening right now,
I
but
hope so too.
I
Bro.
hope he
I really do.
based on what you said, more than likely he ain't, because he ain't done what he was supposed to do no how.
No. The follow-up game is weak. You know what I'm saying? So tell them where you are, who you guys are, man, where you're logging in from.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Lenny logging in from Springfield, Missouri. I am a wholesaler. I'm a buy and hold investor. Catch me every day at Wholesaling with Lenny Group on Facebook. Y'all guys jump in. Hey man, I'm just happy to be a part of the crew.
Man, you definitely a solid part of the crew, bro. What about you, Jay?
Oh man, Jason Sims out of Dallas, Texas, real estate investor. When it comes to real estate, we do whatever it actually is and whatever it actually takes. And happy to be on with you guys tonight, man. And let's get some. Let's talk real estate.
Absolutely.
Let's talk hater first, and then let's talk real estate.
Listen, man. If you in anything that you do, right, you're gonna get a hater, bro. No matter what the situation is. I'm so focused on what I should be doing, man. That I don't really see that. I don't see haters, bro.
The thing is though, Jay, like we gotta take it back a little bit, right? Because you doing things right. This is why you gotta hate it. Because you're doing it right.
Yeah, that's real, bro. So listen, man. Listen, I always say, man, when I get my first hater, bro, I'm gonna celebrate it, man. I wish I could post everything online. I don't really and see. I really don't care, bro. It's like that's how my mind is, bro. What you do don't affect me. You know, so I just keep going, man. You took time out your day to do what you did, bro. That's right. You honoring me. That's how I look at it, bro. If I don't like somebody, I don't rock with them, bro. That's how I look at it. So I had a student, man, that I was working with, man, and he signed up for the program, and I went above and beyond for this guy, right? Went above and beyond for this guy, and he's ready to go. He's 100 miles an hour, and all of a sudden, I don't hear from him. Don't talk to him. I'm not gonna beat you down to help you to do a deal. That's not how that operates, right? 2 months later, he gets back. I'm ready to go. And then 2 months, I don't hear nothing from him. Next 2 months, he get back. He ready to go, man. And I'm giving him access to different software that we use or whatever the case is. And he want me to keep all that stuff stored for him to when he's ready to get it.
So my procrastination is your fault.
Exactly. Exactly. So
man,
he's the type of person, man. I can, I would let him know I got a business too, bro. It's not my job to do the heavy lifting for you. I'm going to direct you where you need to go, but this is your business. So if he calls me, in his mind, I should be sitting by the phone waiting on him to call me, right? You know what I'm saying? So what I would do, I say, hey, give me 30 minutes. I'm on a call real quick. I'll give you a call back. Before the 30 minutes hit, he did call me 2 times, bro. Hey, what's up with you, Drill? He didn't call me 2 times.
Sorry, guys.
It's all good. So he didn't call me 2 times. So he basically, man, he was so upset or whatever the case is, man. He was like, man, I paid you this money and this, that, and the other. I'm like, bro, all the time I invested into this thing, man. And the stuff I'm telling you to do, you're not doing. Like I asked him, I said, if you go to the doctor, man, you got a cold, and your doctor said, hey, take all this medicine for 30 days, and you only take 5 days of it, you don't get well. How you gonna go back to the doctor and trip? You ain't do what he told you to do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And he heard me, and then he just kind of brushed it off and got on to what he wanted to talk about. So, long story short, bro, the whole time, man, he got me upset like twice. And the whole time of working with each other, bro. He frustrated me, bro. I'm like, dude, I do deals. You getting on my nerves, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I finally said, you know what? I'm done with him. Wipe my hands of it. Hit the block button, man. I'm gonna keep on with my life, bro. But the moral of the story is, in business and in life, bro, people going to get on your nerves. They're going to become your haters, bro. They really exist, bro. I thought it was a myth. They really exist, bro.
They do.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm gonna post this tomorrow. I'm gonna post the whole conversation, the whole nine, because I'm that's what I'm about that, bro. I have no, bro. It don't matter to me, bro. You can't stop me for what I do.
Yeah, give you that sauce back. Give you that sauce
man.
right back.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a name out there and everything, man. So y'all go holler at him, man.
I don't want to talk to him.
No, you know, so but no, he might put my number and everything out there, but it is what it is, man. So,
That's fine. It's
yeah,
public anyway. Put it out there, man.
It don't. Yeah, you're right. You put my name up, you don't put up my number too.
Put it out there,
but,
and then when it comes down to it, okay, remember, I'm a professional.
Yeah.
But let's talk
Yeah,
for
man.
a minute.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you where I came from.
Yeah, man.
Okay. But then I'm gonna put them people in your life too, because there's a such thing as slander. So come on with it, and let's roll.
And I got documentation, bro.
Yeah.
I got receipts. They say, as the young people say, I got receipts.
Right.
So, but bro, you know, if I was doing something wrong, he could have actually shut down a lot of stuff I had got going on. But bro, I'm legit. I'm operating with the ethics and everything, bro.
Yeah,
I'm going above and beyond, bro. So you mess yourself up. That's how I look at it. Because one thing I know about this business, bro, is that it's small. I had a cat hit me up from he's from Indiana. And so we talking a little bit, and he's like, man, yeah, I'm working with this guy, such and such. I'm like, yeah, I know who that is. That's my man. I got his number right here. We can talk, whatever the case is. And that's how it is. It's a small community. So you screw me over and do something, and you say, you know what I'm saying? Because one person's name, bro, can open up doors to do some other stuff, bro.
Period.
Real
Real talk.
What I'm saying? Man.
Real
You know,
talk.
so I just thought I'd get that out, man. I just thought it was funny, bro. You know
Yeah,
I got my first one, man. You know,
it's definitely funny because, like, when somebody reaches out and they want to learn real estate, right? You the guy, I'm the guy, Jason the guys, we are the guys, Jarrell. We are the type of guys to where we want to see you succeed,
man.
Right? So what we're gonna do is what they call we're gonna pour into you. Right? Yeah. We're going to pour into you pretty much everything that we got, right? Because we want to see you reach a certain plateau, right? Now, if it's like I'll say, like I'm not going to tell you to go build this house and I ain't got no tools for you, right? I ain't got no tools for you. If you ain't got no tools, what I'm going to send you to go build a house for, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to pour into you. We're going to equip you, right? We're going to equip you for the simple fact that we know we're good at this. People who listen and actually implement what we teach them get good at this, right? So for somebody to lay off, it's kind of like that person who takes that $15 an hour, who go to work and just sit on their hands because they know they get $15 an hour.
Yeah,
it's kind of like what I'm saying. It's kind of like that in a sense, but I get it as well on the free side. I say, hey man, yeah, sure, man, hit my inbox. I'll coach you, show you everything that you need to know. And man, just do this, and this. And they be like, yeah, well, I did this and this. And I'm like, hold on, man. Like, I'm doing this out of my time, right?
Exactly.
Like I'm giving you my time, something that I never get back. And if you think I'm trading this for money, you really crazy, right? I'm doing this to help you, right? This is a service that my businesses offer to help you, to see you succeed. It's like paying $100,000 tuition in college and you never show up. Who does that?
Exactly. That's real too, man.
A lot of people do that, Lenny.
They do.
But that's crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
a lot of people do that, man. That's why they had to forgive the student loan debt here lately. I can guarantee that most of the ones that are getting the forgiveness don't have a degree.
Facts.
So they all do it. But this is the one thing too, Jay, when I was telling you and I first broke down my business to you and I told you, I don't charge. It's all based on productivity. Okay. It's all based on productivity when you come in and I coach you. And the reason being is because I want to take all the excuses off the table. Every last one of them.
Yeah.
I want to take all the excuses off the table so that you understand that when you fail, you fail.
Fact. Listen, I've adopted that. So this guy was somebody I had worked with in the past, in the distant past. So I have adopted that mindset, what you're talking about. And I'm weaving people out. Not everybody's worth my time no more. Like I drop jewels here and there. That's why we have the podcast. That's why
Right.
we have the REI meetup as well. But even if you call me, man, if I could tell you a couple things to get you close a deal, man, why wouldn't I tell you that? As far as investing my time, I need to vet you first, bro. I need to know you're worthy of that, right? When I give you this information, are you gonna take it and run with it, or are you gonna continue to ask me question after question after question, wasting my time, bro? And especially if I'm not getting paid for it either, bro.
Fact.
Like, come on, bro.
I
You know,
had to block.
no,
I had to block it, dude. I had to block
yeah,
it.
I just
Call them professional time wasters.
yeah.
Professional time wasters, Jarrell. Exactly.
We have
Yeah,
we
they
have somebody
show
ask a
9 to
question,
5.
right? Stephen
Okay.
Taylor said, "What amount of money would you suggest for a person to have to get started in real estate lane, right? So, what kind of money?
Let me answer that question, guys.
Yeah, because definitely don't ask me that.
Let me answer that question. It all depends. I mean, you absolutely need no money, maybe $10, $500 to get into real estate. Now, there's levels to it. There's wholesaling, there's buying holes, there's fix and flips, there's commercial deals. So you need to understand which level are you going on. Not, I'm saying as far as investing. He's not talking about like supporting the investor, but him investing. So, what level are you coming in at, and your interest? You can have tons of money and want to wholesale only. You can have little money and want to flip, and you can. But and also, if you're going to do flipping, then you're going to need some money, unless you have some relative that wants, that got money and want to go in with you. Okay, that can happen. Okay, but if you're going at it alone and you want to get into fix and flipping, then you have to look at your market that you're buying in. If you're buying $100,000 property, if you have the opportunity to invest in not so expensive markets, such as, say, I'll put a range on it, 765 to 110,000. That's what you see in houses on the market that need work, not homes on the market that's totally fine. Homes on the market that need work. Then for that type of deal, getting a loan with that, you would need about 15. It could be it depends on your credit score, but you can possibly need between $7,000 to about $18,000. Okay, to get into a deal from 65 to 110,000. So that answers your question. Hopefully, you're looking at fix and flips, and then if just scale it from there. Jarrell said he didn't say my number. I'm actually looking at properties for 250. Then apparently you're going to need about $35,000, $40,000, $50,000 to get into a deal like that.
Right.
Okay?
Exactly.
And then we can dive into why you need that amount of money when you call me and get your loan terms. But that's my best case, as far as fix and flipping. And then of course it goes up from there as far as any rental properties or commercial, if that's your interest.
He also asked the question: if they pay, they don't waste your time. Now the gentleman I was talking about, or the guy I was talking about, he actually paid up front. And so, the way that we change the stuff around now, but the way I used to do it is certain amount of money up front and then X amount of dollars every single month, right? That really covers the basis of you sending in deals and we analyzing the whole, now putting together the contracts and all that stuff, which I really don't get paid off of. My assistant really get paid off of it, really. You know what I'm saying? I'm just the person that hop on the call to help you negotiate the deal and all that good stuff. So when you stop paying her, but you still want to send in deals or whatever to see what, if it's a deal or not, there's something wrong with that math. That math is not mathing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that math ain't mathing.
That math ain't mathing, bro. So, but great question though. Keep them coming, brother. Keep those
you know
questions
what?
coming.
I want to respond to that one too, because I've done both sides of it, the paid and the reason why I moved to the non-paid. The people that pay are the ones who waste time.
Man, I tell
those that pay are the ones who waste time. And the reason being is because they feel like they've paid you for your time.
Wow.
All my students, when I started not paying, all my students who did not pay, they only contacted me when they had something specific to ask me, because they understood that they had to put the work in to get to that point to even have a question. Those that pay want to say, hey, what do we do with this happen? What do we do if this happen? Why are you asking that? Because you don't have nothing to discuss.
Exactly. Johnny,
what contract are we gonna use? Do you have anything to put on it? No.
Yeah.
Then why are we worried about the contract yet?
Yeah.
We're not even worried about that part yet.
exactly.
Right?
That's real talk.
So I kind of agree with that on some. There's a pool of those people that they'll pay attention, but those that do not pay tend to value the time a lot more, especially the ones that really can't afford what other gurus and other products that are being serviced out there, because there's some that like $50,000 and $100,000 just for mentorship.
Absolutely. So what is the I guess you can say like the litmus scale, right? So for anybody coming in off the street has to show you something before you say, you know what, that's right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So what is that bar?
I actually do an interview process.
Okay.
And so right I do an interview process and I find out, because one of the things too is that I want to know, you send me your resume. I want you to send me your resume as if you are applying for a job, because now I know your work history.
Okay.
Now right. I know and I understand your work history.
And that tells you serious too.
Right? Now I know, and tell me your work history. Because guess what? One of the things that we do in marketing, which is probably the most low-cost marketing that we do, is cold calling.
Yes, sir.
If you've never worked face-to-face or in a call center, you're going to have a difficult time doing this.
Everybody can't do it, bro. Everybody won't do it, rather. Everybody can do it. You got to put the time in. But
you're going to have a difficult time doing this. We're not even talking about the real estate part yet, understanding easements and stuff. We haven't talked about that yet. You can't even get past finding the lead.
Listen, man, the phone is essential. You got to be able to talk on the phone, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's scary for a lot of people because that phone weighs 10,000 pounds, right? Especially when you first get started and you're intimidated by it or whatever. But you have to master the phone. It's important.
Yeah. So that's why, hey, send me your resume. Let me see that thing.
That's dope.
Okay.
The phone, I find it comes with time. You know, it's like
it does.
It just comes with time. You're going to naturally get better. It's hard. I feel really bad for the folks that are fearful of it and learning and trying to, have the heart for it, and that's a real barrier. Yeah. It just gets easier. It will. But you got to do it every day.
Look, but Jarrell, for 10 years, though, for 10 years, I've trained licensed insurance adjusters. Okay. 16 to 18 people in a class at a time. Some of them did not have phone background because this is a call center. They're adjusting claims over the phone. But if I can sit there and look at everybody that came into my classroom, and I would be able to go to my manager and I would sit down with them and say, hey, they're not going to make it.
Yeah, it's a personality trait also. That sometimes
not even a personality trait. I'm looking at them just on paper before they even come to my classroom.
Oh, because they don't have the background?
Because I can see it in their background. I can see it because, like you said, that phone is heavy. Okay. Now you're dealing with people that have been involved in car accidents. They housed and flooded. They've lost this, right? Insurance is an intangible asset. Okay. It's not tangible. So you're dealing with these things. And it's the same thing that we're doing with real estate. But I could look at that paper and say, okay, yeah, they've had some background that's been in customer service, but it was the wrong customer service.
Yeah.
Okay.
All customer service is not the same.
Yeah.
That is very true.
This is a question for. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, Jake.
No, I'm just saying because one of the things is that you'll see even the ones with the degrees, they want to know every damn thing up front.
It's impossible.
And there's no way.
No.
Even all of us collectively on the phone don't know everything that there is about real estate.
No.
We're still learning.
And if you did, you can't discuss it in one phone call.
Right. We're still learning.
I just want to interject and not even interject, but just to compliment and piggyback on that. People, do your due diligence. Don't take the initiative. Go pick up a book. It doesn't matter whether Jason, Lenny, Jay, Jarrell, me, whoever it is you see, whatever, go and find. But it's on TikTok and Instagram. It's a million different things. Oh, the rich don't want you to know about this website, and there are all these different websites where you can go find books. You can go find people who have taken the time, who have done what you're trying to do, and if they ever wanted to hide something from you, they put it in between the pages of a book.
That's right.
Johnny, they don't read. They don't read, Johnny.
He right though. Hey, Johnny,
right.
that helps too, because guess what, dude? We're signing a contract.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. I've had students say they did this without doing anything before I started coaching them, and I'm like, did you even read it?
Nope.
No.
Yeah. Jump right off the porch in the trap.
You didn't even know that thing said that you can be sued for specific performance. You probably didn't even understand what specific performance mean. You didn't read it.
Nope, didn't read it.
Yeah, off the porch, breath still smell like Similac.
Yeah.
Hey, so Jay,
I do a loan terms. I know
exactly what you mean. We just had a tax question. Tax question pop up, and I was trying to see if Johnny can tackle that.
What was it?
No, he said, what's the least percentage that is considered good on a flip? What's the percentage of good on a flip?
I don't know about percentages. I'll tell you, if you deal with me and you flipping property, I'll tell you how never to pay a tax on the property you flip. But as far as the percentages, I'll let the experts around me.
Is he talking about like return on investment? Like percentage?
I think that's what he's talking about. Yeah.
Shoot, I try to stay north of 15.
15 or higher. Yeah, that's normally where a buyer's sweet spot is, right, Jarrell?
Yeah. 15 to, I mean, best case scenario will be, not best case, it could be word, it could be anything, but like a knucklehead deal.
Yeah.
No, return on investment. Yeah. So like a knucklehead deal will be somewhere like anywhere 18 to 22. Right. And if you get real sweet, you got a deal that you probably can sell and not do anything if you got something over 25%.
Yeah.
You don't have to probably, you can make a profit without even touching it.
That's true. That's facts.
So
let's start the show.
That's just raw numbers though. That's just really raw numbers. I don't like being so general, more specific than that.
But you see everybody's information on here, man. Definitely reach out to them on Facebook, man. You ask them any question you want. And I know once you get done, if you want to ask some more questions, pretty sure we'll stay on a few more minutes to get all of them done. So last week, man, we talked about how to pay little to no taxes from your real estate, right? And I tell you, bro, it was a lot of balls over, Wrigley Field, outfield, man. There was a lot of balls knocked out of there, bro. Let's see what we can do with these, man. So, all right, so we're talking about trust, right? What is the trust, different trusts, and things of that nature, right? I tell you what, anybody has a phone that they can look up a couple of these terms?
So we talking about what is a trust? Johnny can answer them off the top of his head, but I want to show him a little bit about myself because I read.
Go ahead. Hey, I'm here to learn. I'm a lifelong learner. Definitely. You may tell me something I ain't know yet.
I'm just going, but I'm a like in the military with KISS, right? Keep it simple, stupid, right?
Yeah, right.
Trust is nothing more than a few pieces of paper. That's it.
That's why I tell people, I try to tell my clients, look at the trust the same way you look at your LLC. Look at it the same way you look at your S Corp. In most cases, you got that S Corp or that LLC. I know I made a post on this earlier. This goes around often. How do you write off a car? How do I buy a G-Wagon and write it all off? So you're doing that inside of a LLC to get tax benefits, to get liability, less liability in it. Think of a trust as a similar type of instrument that's is not made by statutory law, by the state. Like you got to go to your Secretary of State to get your LLC set up. With the trust, you use your ability, your right to contract, your First Amendment right to contract. A trust is nothing but a document with three parties: one person who creates it, one person who manages it, and one person who it's for, or one party, I should say. I'm not going to say person, but party. So At that
Yeah.
point, it's the same reason. I went and bought this car. I got this house. It's in this LLC. I got it so I could get my tax breaks off of it. I could get my whoop whoop whoop. That's what we look at trust as. And if you start looking at a trust in the same similar aspect of an entity like that, you'll be ahead of the game real quickly.
Dope. So if you want to know more about trust, definitely go to the show we did last week. We really went in, guys. We went in on it. So all right, so
definitely.
Yeah, so let's go to the next one. So I know we wanted to talk about the entities of I think we said the importance of entity structures, right? Did I get that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is what we're talking about now. We're gonna jump on that, man. Any questions about that right there? You know, why is it important to understand the entity structure?
Hold on real quick before we start answering that, Jay. I'm gonna go ahead and be the moderator for us and let everybody know who is listening. Go ahead, like and subscribe, but also at the same time, please understand that this information is for educational and knowledge purposes only. Any information that is put out on this show, it is not legal advice. We are not lawyers, attorneys, or CPAs. Please seek out legal assistance and tax advisory if needed.
Absolutely.
Right.
And you speak for me,
and
see network, and me, and everybody else here. So
I'll even throw out there. I'll even throw out there that, you know, of course, this is not legal advice, guys, but between the parties that are on this call, we have connections. If you need to get in touch with an attorney, you need to get in touch with we have those. I have those connections. I know Jay, all the Jays on here, Brother Lenny, you know, whatever the case may be. So if something that you hear really piques your interest, reach out to any of these brothers that are on this call. You know, feel free to ask questions, and if we can't answer it or aren't qualified to answer it all ourselves, we will put you in contact, because that is one of the most crucial things. Is I don't want to tell you about something and then you're like, well, damn, where do I find it? Where do I figure this out? So just to open the doors on that, please feel free to reach out to any of these brothers on this call, because we are here to connect. Like not just each other, connecting with each other, but connecting with everyone out here who's trying to get it as well.
Get you a pen and paper, because there's gonna be some jewels dropped there, guys.
Yes, sir.
You can go back and listen again, but you want to have it fresh in your head, man.
Right. So why is it important?
Good information.
To understand the entity structure. Okay. So it's rudimentary, because you have to basically know what.
Sean, we need you on the show, bro. Go ahead, bro.
You need to know. You need to know what type of service you're going to provide. First of all, I mean that's just, and it varies. So entity structure, as far as what type of entity you're going to open up, LLC, Corp, S Corp, what type of things are you looking for? And Johnny would explain a lot after I'm finished about this, all the tax benefits and how to structure things so you are protected, and the risk of your business, your partnership, how many people are you splitting your pie with, will may take a factor in how you decide to structure your entity. But all in all, you need one. I'm glad you're thinking about that, because you can't go do business just one day without involving Uncle Sam.
Right.
So at the very least, if you're talking about basic LLC structure, I mean, everyone knows that LLC doesn't take too long to get, and it does provide the basic structure and a formation to allow you to legally do business in the state that you're in, and have other brothers take it from there.
Highlight on that point that brother Jarrell just pointed. Usually in the state you're in, the state you're doing business in, there's going to be a lot of scams that say, no, go set your LLC up in Nevada, or go set, and I talk to people out here who are in Texas, and they're like, yeah, I'm going to go set my LLC up in Delaware. But you got a company that only does business within the Dallas County. Makes no sense, because now you have to abide by Delaware's laws and Texas's laws. So, you don't want to set I just wanted to just point on that. Just the state you're doing business in. I can't speak to if you just got an online business and you're dealing with people everywhere. Well, in that case, then you definitely need to sit down with your lawyer or your professional. But general rule of thumb, make sure it's in the state where you're doing business in.
Very important, guys.
And if
Fifth
at least,
part-
and if you're, and let me add this: if you're going to maybe invest also in other states, then just you have to look up a foreign registry, and okay, you have to get a foreign registry for your business in that state. A lot of folks don't know that. You know, they say, "Oh, I'm just going to jump across the bridge and do a job over in New Jersey." You know, you won't.
Right.
You won't be set up correctly. You know, you can do anything you want to do, you know, but you won't be set up correctly. So just look into that if you do cross state lines.
These folks got to understand these states operate differently. Right now, it's about 4 or 5 states that are voting on legal slavery right now. So if that doesn't tell you that there's not a consensus amongst all states, even on a judicial punishment level, penal code that level, then on a business level, you better believe is that there's so much that, you know, you look at the red tape risk, you look at everything that you have to do to not peer. We ain't talked about the corporate veil, but to keep those protections that you just spent this money and set up this entity for, that's one of the big things, because like you got a bank account, make sure it's a business bank account. Usually they tell you, most CPAs or accountants will tell you need to have a couple of different bank accounts. One for you know, owner's pay, one for, you know, expenses, payroll, one for just for taxes. There's literally one just for, because the IRS will come after you. But I don't want to make it seem like it's just a big thing, but it is.
It is a big thing.
It is big in the sense that if you want to be successful, and this isn't just some status symbol thing, like you want real substantial success, you need to pay attention to every piece. Not saying you need to be an expert, but you need to be able to pay attention and get a team to where, hey, I don't understand what this means right here. You know, can you explain it?
Real talk, like, I mean, you're not even going to tonight be like, okay, I'm totally cool with setting up my Fortune 500 company. Even after this podcast, I mean, you're likely going to not be prepared. So even after this, you need to contact one of us to put you in contact with the next step to make sure that you stay on the right track. You know, that's just being real. You know, if you're starting from not knowing at all, then you definitely ask questions.
But that's actually leads to the next question here, though.
Okay.
You know, who should you contact to set up the entity, right? Set the entity up, right? And we talked about that.
I'll be honest. As far as who you contact, I mean, you can get a lawyer to set it up for you. You can set it up yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I suggest normally people set it up themselves because that's just a piece of paper. What you want to sit down and speak with your attorney or legal advisor about is that article, is the operating agreement.
The operating agreement. I was going to ask you that.
Because that is what determines how your business operates, okay, within itself.
That's a note. That's a note right there, guys. Right?
Yeah.
Write that down. The purpose. If we're not going to discuss the purpose of the operating agreement, it's really simple, like Jason's saying. But that's like the next step. It's just not your license. You also have to do it correctly. Your operating agreement.
Right.
And the state's not going to provide that for you, like your articles. By the way.
I want to point just direct this to my people, my black business owners. This ain't excluding nobody else, but this is I want to talk to my people for a minute. This can a lot of times, and I find that people will skip over certain steps. Certain steps that usually involve written documentation. You know, we think we can skip over
it's binding.
Something. But here's the truth of the matter. Notice when I said earlier about the corporate veil. So if you do come under scrutiny by some external agency, whatever group, they're going to want to look at your documentation. They're going to want to check your minutes. Then we ain't even talked about minutes. We ain't talked about keeping track of minutes in the meetings, because your operating agreement, like they said, it dictates how decisions are made. It dictates who has access to bank accounts, who makes final decisions,
how is ownership,
like
the contribution of initial contribution. I mean,
like,
this is not for play.
That's what you would.
That's the problem. That's the problem, though, Jay.
Yeah,
we've got a lot of people. And your hater is one of them.
Yeah.
That pretend to do business.
Yeah.
Right.
Pretend.
Yeah.
You're either doing
Exactly.
business or you're not.
See,
Period.
a lot of people are doing business. They're not doing business,
Right.
right?
Huh.
So you gotta do it, man. You gotta do it's
Yeah.
business, bro. And it's a lot of things, man, that can trip you up, man. And like we talked about, if you don't understand what it is, you need to get with somebody who does.
Right.
Pay a couple $100 for a lawyer to draw that up for you, so
Come on,
you'll be good.
You know.
You'll be good. Like I only did it one time, and I've been in business for like 9 years.
Yeah.
So yeah. So okay, quick question then. So if you already have your LLC set up and you don't have your what is it called
Article-
again? Yeah, the
operating agreement.
Operating agreement. If you don't have that, can we draw one up now?
Yeah.
Is that something
I'll give you
what
guys
does
the
that
easy
go?
one, easy thing. RocketLawyer.com. They have a service. They provide templates for operating agreement. Here.
So
there.
would
That's
that
how
be
you
sent to
get
the state?
Hey.
Or do you keep
No, you don't know. You keep that.
No.
That's
Hey,
provided. That's service to anyone that asks for it. Like, you know.
I'm glad Jarrell says Rocket Lawyer. I'm gonna keep beating up on your hater because that system and software that you was giving him access to, that system and software you was giving him access to gives him access to Rocket
that.
Lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir. It definitely
Yeah,
does.
just go Rocket Lawyer. You know.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
It's
Set
crazy,
one up.
bro.
It's necessary. Don't
And I want
skip
to.
it.
I also want to point out: do not overlook the power of the internet. You can go look up. There are plenty of different companies. I remember at one point. This is before I got into the space I'm in now. But I wanted to see an operating agreement for a holding company, and I just Googled it, and it showed me about
That's what I
4 or
did,
5 different holding companies operating agreements just right there that I could get an idea of what to look at. Now, granted, I know Jason already said it earlier. People don't like to read, but I'm going to tell you, if you're going to be in business, forget all of that stuff when people say, oh, the people who are at the top, they're dumb. Yes, they have advisors. Yes, they have people that they fall back on. But once again, if you're not willing to do the work, you can't be the boss. If you're not willing to understand what needs to go on in order to remain profitable, remain in business, the nitty gritty stuff, making sure that these documents are in place, they're easy to, in your safe, whatever it is.
Yep.
All of this stuff is in place. If you truly want, and I don't mean telling you people, oh, y'all own a business, just to say it. We're not hustling. We're business owners. We're providing opportunities for other people in our communities.
And
go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. No, go ahead. I'm so sorry about that. I thought you were.
Brother, it's all good. Okay. I didn't want to preach too hard, but it's just when we shift from the mindset of I'm just doing this to make some extra money, a side hustle, and when you truly become a business owner is when you're delegating tasks to other people. You are coming up with job descriptions. Now you're starting to pay SUTA and FUTA taxes. Those are state and federal unemployment taxes. This is when you're getting to the next level of it.
There you go. Boom. We blow you up, brother.
Johnny, I've never filled this out. I think I need to start filling this out.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
What? Hey, Lenny, what's up, man?
I'm tripping.
Yeah, you need to fill that out, bro.
I'm tripping.
You definitely need to, because you don't want them.
I'm tripping.
Yeah, you don't want them to call on you. You don't want them to call on you, and that documentation needs to get brought up.
It's blank.
Yeah. I'm the only
Hold on. See, Lenny went and got his stuff. Now I got to pull mine out.
Yeah. Hey guys, I wanted to mention though, like, this is real estate, so a lot of the people watching are trying to set up companies to do real estate. I suppose that they're checking out this exact video. So, as being a loan broker and dealing with funding loans and whatnot, I'll tell you a couple, entity documents, your company documents that are needed for submission for, I'm not gonna say every lender, because any lender could do, capture any, documents they want, but the majority of the lenders are going to ask for this. Okay. It's the few things. Yeah. Your articles of organization, operating agreement, your IRS letter showing your EIN number, your certificate of good standings. Sometimes they call it certificate of existence or whatever. Okay. And that's about it. Those are the 4 documents that you need to keep up with, and make sure you have readily available if you want to get a loan quickly. Okay? Make my job a lot easier.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah,
have to
when
go.
Johnny said that, I was thinking like, wait, I ain't never put no damn minutes in this thing.
Mm.
I'm like, hold on. So that's like, that's backtracking game on me. I'm like, hold on, dude, you've been
All
slipping. You
right,
supposed to
let's,
be
let's
writing
blow
all
you
this
up,
shit
Jay.
down.
Yes, sir.
This is what that is.
Yeah.
Okay, that's two of them. Well, one's in Nevada, the other one's actually here in Texas. But
Facts.
That's how you operate. And
Facts.
it goes into that, like, if you don't, I think a lot of times people who get into business, and they don't have any background in it, are looking for immediate gratification. And these steps that
Exactly.
Jason
Wow.
and Lenny and everybody's talking about, these you getting an LLC or whatever is not just because you have an LLC don't mean you're making money. That just mean
Right.
that I'm prepared. I'm in a
Facts.
position, so you're not gonna get immediate gratification off of it unless you put in the work. But
Yeah.
it's still, like I said, we just can't overlook the importance of first having these documents in place,
right.
and then utilizing them. The I know a lot of people talk about business credit. This is all about professionalism. This is all about how your company is set up, how it's facing the public. I know when me and my business partner were, filing, we were applying for some business credit. We were like, well, where's the EIN? Where's the information for that? I found out from somebody else that in a lot of cases they're looking at your address. They're not.
Mm.
They're looking to see if you actually have a professional address. You got a toll-free phone number. Do you have all of these other pieces in place that coincide with that LLC? Because you don't get immediate results from having them,
Right.
but you get the benefits because you've taken them and you've taken the effort and you have them in place. So when the time does come, when you are able to find that property, that cool, I don't have to buy it in my name. I can get it in my ABC LLC. I got the money in the bank account there. We can make the deal happen that way.
Yep.
It's like you guys
Yep.
are talking about. Ain't no sense of you talking about a contract. I don't want to say that. That's kind of backtracking. But at the same time, you just want to be prepared. You don't want to just jump all the way ahead, but you want to be prepared enough so that way when the time comes,
You ready to rock?
you're ready. And these brothers up here, I'm gonna go back to it. If you want to get into anything involving real estate, right now you have knowledge for a good portion of pieces of how you can get in from private lending, right from the brother next to me, to wholesaling, to
Commercial, residential
commercial,
land,
to bird
new
dogging,
bird dog, everything. Right there, bro.
everything.
You are now rocking with the best.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's jump. Okay, what you got there, Jay?
Make sure you get all them partners to sign too.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Make sure you
Yes,
get
sir.
them all to sign.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Go ahead, my bad.
so
And
we're
one
gonna
of-
jump. Go ahead. Go
One
ahead.
more,
Go
one
ahead.
more thing, real quick, Jay. One of the things too that a lot of people don't understand, especially for my people, if you're listening, you're in Texas, okay? Please understand that other states have state taxes for people. Texas do not, but they do for our businesses.
Mm.
Okay,
Yep.
they do for our business. We don't personally. We don't do state taxes, but our business pay those state taxes. Texas is one of those business friendly states. We pay the taxes for our people.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, and then I do have to just throw in here. We talked about all these different, entities. I'm still gonna throw out my trust. And I said this is literally one of the ideal things for people who are in real estate, and of course this is when you get to a certain level. When you get to a certain level where you're looking at significant capital gains taxes, it makes sense to set up what we like to call a complex spendthrift trust. There's some other provisions, but this is how the big boys they don't pay capital gains taxes. And for my people on this call, every one of these guys, I imagine, has had to pay cap gains tax at some point in time. So when you get in the mix and you finding these properties, you bird dogging worked out, you wholesaling, you getting in there, you buying them, you flipping them. It's just the next level. And of course, not everybody. So for the people who are starting off right now, you do want to focus on that LLC. You do want to focus on that S corp in that situation, because you may not have the funds to just jump in. But for those that are a little bit further along and you're starting to pay some taxes and things like that, this is why. and this is like the next level of it. You want to get these different trust entities set up, because I was watching a post about how Walt Disney basically, I told you my system is called Ultimate Banking. Walt Disney did it. He pulled from his life insurance for Disney. He bought the land for Disney World using land trust.
That's right.
Before we even knew anything about that term, he was doing it, bro.
He took a page out of Rockefeller's book. So I'm in the famous Lil Wayne quote. If anybody on here rock with Lil Wayne, you know the quote from the Carter 2. I took food from the Bears and brought it back to the Lions. That's what this podcast is. If you just, hopefully you wrote that down, because ask food, because that's the people that are in the positions you want to be in. These are how they're operating. This is how they're playing the game. So that's all I want to do.
So Johnny,
I'm that guy too. I'm that guy that got stuck with that tax issue until I got my spendthrift. So, I'm still dealing with that, Johnny. But
that's what I wanted to ask Jay and Johnny.
What's up?
I want to ask y'all that, Jay and Johnny, Jason and Johnny, to the point where, like, say somebody watching and they're a wholesale, right? They want to know how can they possibly not pay half of the wholesale fee to the government every year? Is there a way that they can not pay literally half to the government every year?
Yeah. Go to go to my website, Any Ad Infinite, schedule a call with me. We'll sit down, we'll have a conversation, we'll see exactly what you're doing. And at that point in time, if you're ready to rock and roll, we can do an intake form. We sit down with the attorney, we sit down with the trust accountant, the trust CPAs. They go step by step, creating the EIN, the bank account. I tell you, the people I work with, they got it's a guy who actually had been working at Wells Fargo for the past 15 years in the trust department, just doing trust banking.
Hey Johnny, just to before you keep going, trust banking. Okay. It's a whole lot different than corporate and personal banking. A whole lot different. Okay. Because with your business and your personal, you go in and you have to show them your ID.
Oh, wait.
Trust.
So hold on, Jay.
Yeah.
So I can so I can take my real estate money, the money that I make from wholesaling, right? I can put that in my life insurance policy and not get taxed.
You can do that, but even better, when you have the type of trust we're talking about, that trust can go buy the property. It can buy the property, sell it. It can sell it whenever you know at that point, because as long as that money stays inside the body of the trust, what they call the corpus. But after you sell it, as long as that money stays within and you exercise the spendthrift part of it, meaning you don't give any of the money or distribute it to the beneficiaries. Yeah, we're looking at not having to pay. We didn't create a taxable event. So I don't want to keep saying not paying taxes. I want to start by focusing on not creating taxable events.
Exactly. Yes. I hope y'all listening, man. I hope y'all like sharing this podcast now. Because the man just told y'all what to do with y'all money.
Subscribe.
You got kids? Yeah. Start making them a trust fund, baby.
Yes,
right.
You got to, and it's like you said, man. People, the tandem combination of the life insurance is owned by the trust. So we teach people that, all right, you have a business, get your tax savings, take that tax-free money. Let's put it inside the insurance policy. We have policies where the premium is going to get credited like 7%. You're going to take a loan out for about 4%, creating a 3% arbitrage on any money you flow through the life insurance policy. Now you take tax-free money, and then we add a 3% boost on it, and then after that, you do whatever you want. You go invest it. You go, take care of the bills in the because usually if you sold your house to the trust, you still got to pay your bills. You want to go start a new business, whatever the case is, you have all of these options now, and you've protected yourself from opportunity costs and taxes.
Damn.
Hey, here's the other thing too. This is coming from an auto insurance specialist, and Johnny probably knows this too. But at this point, you can also be self-insured.
Be Jackie Chan out here in these streets. So
you can actually be self-insured. Once you have a certain amount, Once you have a certain amount, then you can be self-insured. So
Yeah.
that auto insurance you paying every month.
Yeah, you got to pay that.
Yeah, like look at it like this. I don't
Ooh.
I don't know. If,
I remember you
I
told
don't.
me that. I was like, what in
Wow.
the world, bro? That's wild, man. But you got the bread.
Wow.
I don't know if
Self-insured.
the queen had life insurance or not. I have to go look that up. But I would imagine she didn't need it. I was sitting there looking at what they was it Charles, King Charles, Prince Charles, whatever. You know, they talking about was it $750 million estate. If
Yeah.
I'm not incorrect. And they said he already inherited $1 billion estate from his dad.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Then
I don't know
she had two
life insurance.
Jews in her crown. That was $1 billion.
Oh, she got the star of I think about the first
Star
through third or
Africa.
fourth
Yeah.
stars of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
I heard about
Jewels
that
from
too.
India. She owned solar wind farms. She owned like a coast off of the off of
Right.
England. She owned like a
Yeah.
whole coastline.
She
Man.
didn't own it. She controlled it.
She
Yeah.
controlled.
That's right.
She
That's right.
It
right,
was
Jay.
so
Let's talk
She
about
don't own
the,
it. She
the
control
limited
it. Yep.
partnership, guys. The limited partnership on the LP. Oh, you got-
LP, LLPs.
I've never gotten one, so I can't speak to one actually.
Anybody got a go ahead, John. You about to
I
say
would
something?
say like in most cases, I mean it'll work. It's usually they say when you have a limited partner, it's just going to be like your investor. Like I was stated earlier, the play that we actually use is with the trust is for somebody who has like a service-based business. We have like CDL drivers, so they may make 100K over the year. They net that, right? They paid their expenses. They netted 100K. We'll make the trust that limited partner, a 90% limited partner to their LLC, and then by using the IRS guidelines, we can move 90% of that net income over to the trust, just paying off a partner. But as far as when you're dealing with other individuals, like that
Yeah.
much you guys are going to have to explain to me on the real estate tip how it works whenever you're working with other individuals in that capacity, because most of the people I know that are on that tip working with other individuals, they're using two trusts. They're using one of these trusts as a straight pass-through entity, as a business trust, the same way that somebody would, I guess, do a LP situation, but then they're distributing it from that to however many members they have beneficial trusts. So the same way that you have your LLC, we get paid from the deal. We split it out amongst us three or us five. We do that with the trust instead. So that way, everybody has their piece. The trust owns it. But then when we have to just break it down, it just gets split that
To
pay.
each
So that way,
individual trust, yeah.
It would be the same way as what we would do as a joint venture if we put somebody else's entity, LLC, S corp or C corp, on that contract. It'll flow to them from the title companies. So it's essentially the same thing.
So this is the definition of it here. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Let me see here. All right, can you guys see that? So limited liability liabilities and legal statutes in which a person's financial liability is limited to a fixed sum, most commonly the value of a person's investment in their corporation, company, or partnership. So that's Wikipedia's definition of a limited liability company.
That's why you typically see those in practicing law firms. You typically see those in practicing law firms.
Yeah, because you can do that in your operating agreement of LLC, can't you?
Yeah.
I mean, but I think that would be more ironclad and
Yeah.
a limited partnership. But it's
we do that.
yeah.
I like giving equity.
Mm.
I prefer in my LLCs, SCs, S corps and corps to give equity. So I give them an equity position in the business.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Dope. All right, let's go to this one here. C corporation or C corp?
Same thing. They're both the same.
yeah, that's literally the same.
Well, yeah, no, yeah, it's the same thing.
You're saying just as far as
C
name
corp,
name
yeah,
wise.
the normal C corp.
I think C corps are actually awesome. I think that you definitely need the right professional to work with you, because most time people get scared with the whole double taxation thing. But from one of my mentors that broke it down to me, you know, a lot of times the way people get around that whole situation of double taxation is they have empty bank accounts at the end of the year. Um, it's just you need the right professional when you're dealing with this. And some people, some lawyers or whatever tax and business attorneys, they specialize in different, you know, depending on what you're trying to do, what your business actually involves. That really should dictate a lot of what structure you decide.
As I said earlier.
Yeah, he hit the nail on the head, because if you are, let's say you just selling candles at the farmer's market, no shot to anybody selling candles at the farmer's market. But if that's what's going on, then you don't need a C corp.
Well,
But if you're like a dentist, right? You're a dentist or a lawyer, you know, somebody. I still don't agree with S corps. I don't agree with them. I know we're gonna touch on them later, but that makes more sense if I'm a lawyer or I'm somebody in that capacity. I've seen those type of individuals have S corps. If you're gonna have a big store like a Walmart, you want some large, well, then you want to look at having a C corp, because you're trying to grow a company to be that large, so that way it's just known as a corporation on that scale. So those are the, you know, you're scaling, how big you want your company to be, what your company actually does. These are the real determining factors of, you know, what type of entity you want to choose.
Yeah. So here's the definition, right? Let me see, put it up here. C corp. C corporation, or we call it C corp, right? Under the United States federal income and tax laws, it's a corporation that is taxed separately from its owner. A C corp is distinguished from an S corp, which generally is not taxed separately. I'm not for understanding. I've never, have a C corp, so I'm not understanding that. Let me read that again. So a C corporation is distinguished from the S corp, which generally is not taxed separately. What that mean, man? I don't get that.
So, like, when most people get S corps, right, they tell you to take a reasonable salary, which, you know, let's say, I think it's, last time I checked was like, what, the minimum was like 25% of whatever you made. Don't count, we gotta go on the IRS.gov to verify that. But the last time I checked, there's a certain amount, a minimum amount that you have to declare as a W-2 income, and then the rest of it, you know, we're keeping that in the company. We're not worried about taking that, you know, being taxed on that money in the same capacity versus, you know, that's why I said earlier, a lot of people would discourage individuals from getting C corps, because you're taxed on the business as well as on a personal level as well. But that's why I said, if you have the right strategist that's helping you and guiding you, consulting you, you'll figure out ways around that. Yeah. But once again, if you just, you know, got your little small business, you don't plan on expanding on a national, international level, or, you know, I can't say whether you should or shouldn't do it, but I'm going to say that it typically, rule of thumb, you know, if you're going for gold, you're going big, you're probably going to want to do a C corp at some point in time.
Yeah. All right. And the next one, man, I know everybody's probably pretty much familiar with this. This is normally what everybody gets, right? The limited liability company, right? LLC. Mm-hmm. So let me go ahead and read this real quick and pull this up.
While you pulling that up, you know, the interesting thing is that it costs the same amount to set up an LLC than it does as the same as a C corp.
Because all you doing is filling out a form.
It's just filling out the.
You just, and I want to say this because I actually had an attorney. One of my former business partners is somebody he knew was an attorney, and this was just the wrong thing. You don't go buy an S corp, people. If somebody tells you a couple myths, one, you don't have to pay for an EIN, and two, you don't go buy an S corp or a C corp. All of these things are done on the IRS's website. Yeah, you fill out specific forms to declare with the IRS that this company you formed in your state, you want it to be taxed as either an S corp or a C corp. I think the form is like 8832 or 80.
Oh, wait.
That's really important what you just said about the simple fact that you get this off the Secretary of State in each state you live in. I mean, a lot of folks don't even know that you
just print the form, fill it out, send it in with the fee.
You can do it online. Well, I did. I mean, seriously, I was so like wanting to get it done right the first time. I actually went down to the Secretary of State, did it inside the office with the people just to make sure I can ask questions and everything, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
See, that's the type
Do
of
that.
initiative I'm talking about, people.
Yeah.
Like if
And
you want
doing
to
that,
win,
actually, I got my articles. You know how you gotta wait 7 days, 14 days to get it mailed to you.
They
That
give it to
day,
you right then.
expediting was like $200. You know, but the young lady gave it to me for free just because the initiative she saw in the young man trying to make sure everything was correct. Just go down there and ask questions, man.
Yeah.
Ask
Yeah, man.
questions.
Can't
They're
be scared,
there for a
man.
reason. Oh, now COVID though. Now I don't know about that now, but
So they pretty much lifting stuff now. You
Oh,
probably
yeah.
be able to walk right on in there now, right?
probably you're probably right.
All right. So a limited liability company is a U.S. specific form of a private limited company. It is base structure that can combine the pass-through taxation of a partnership or sole proprietorship with the limited liability of a corporation. So that's Wikipedia's definition of that. So probably I would go so far to say probably 90%. No, I can't say 90% of people. Well, you first start off, most likely people are gonna have an LLC, right? That's probably what you end up getting. It's very easy to do, like we kind of talked about, man. I know a lot of these, you see lawyers, you see people, man, charging all this money to get this stuff set up for you. It's pretty easy to do it, man. Just,
It costs
take your time.
$300 in Texas.
Yeah. Take your time, just knock it out, you can get it done.
300 and it's done.
Even your operating agreement is something that you may spend money on, as an advisor or someone a professional to look over for you. But your LLC documents you can definitely create by yourself.
Yeah, real easy.
So I'm gonna just tell people when people get the whole corporate, you start a corporation. I'm gonna read off a list, and these are just some of the things. Please don't take this ain't an every type situation, but these are just some of the things that you shouldn't be surprised if you get asked. So we're talking about the corporate binder, your corporate seal, certificates with the corporate name, stock transfer ledger, checklist instructions and worksheets, the corporate minutes, corporate bylaws, agreements. And keep in mind, the company logo, letterhead, all of this needs to be on your documentation. They got a waiver of notice for minutes and annual meeting of directors, minutes of special shareholders, notice of annual meeting for shareholders. When I say there's an extensive list of stuff that you need to have, I mean, from banking revolutions, employment agreements, buy-sell agreements, cafeteria plans. Now, of course, like I said, all of this varies depending on what your business does and what you're doing. But I just don't want it to go understated that there are a lot of moving pieces. And I'm not saying whether you should or should not go get an attorney, but I'm saying at some point in time, it may make sense for you to go find someone who's qualified to break down what these things are in specification and when you may need them. As Brother Jason is pointing out right there, all of these things, it's like, I may not need it now, but it's, at the same time, not everybody burns candles on a regular basis. But if your lights get cut out, there's a storm happen, you're gonna find them candles at that.
And just let everybody know you need those documents, like the list that he just described if you have a corporation. But if you have a general LLC, you wouldn't need minutes and whatnot and tracking and stuff. So that's generally
great
why
point.
that's probably most.
Now, here's the thing, because Johnny just also said that he was talking about the S corp. If you're an LLC and then you structure over to that partnership, you will need that.
Yeah.
Because now you're an S corp.
Gotcha.
And you'll then need all of that with your minutes and voting for who the managing directors and managing officers are for that company.
Gotcha.
And the other thing about that too, and you want to keep all of these records and all of this stuff. One, for the simple fact is that it can be subpoenaed if you ever get sued.
My people I work with, they have a joke in the office. One is, I don't know if I told y'all, the IRS. If you put "the" and IRS together, it spells theirs. And the other thing is, what LLC is actually an acronym, not for limited liability company, but large lawsuit coming. Because you can still get, that's the thing. People get these LLCs, they get these different, entities set up, If you don't operate within the right capacity, you can get sued.
Yep.
You can get. I brought up on multiple podcasts. You know, we in Texas, so I think what's that brother Charleston White? I've been mentioning him a couple of times. I follow him on social media. I laugh at
Yeah,
the
me
stuff he
too,
says.
man. He's
But
funny,
the
man.
biggest part is the brother is teaching people how to sue employers.
Yeah, man.
Teaching people how to spot and find OSHA violations so they can sue the employer. If you're a business owner, and you know what, you can just have a real estate business. But the truth of the matter is when let's say you get to hiring people, you got assistants, you got other things going on.
You open yourself up to that. You're right.
You gotta abide by these laws.
That's true. Listen, man, this was another good one. This man, an hour go by so fast, man.
Ooh,
It's like we
way
just
past
started talking. We just started talking. So,
Just started talking.
yeah, man. But listen, this man, like always, man. This, and I can see how this one butt up against the last one that we had. You know what I'm saying? So tell everybody what you do.
Need to be a
You know, so they can reach out. Yeah, we definitely need to. We definitely need to. We definitely need to. I tell you what, let's do this, man. So when you guys get a chance, baby, what y'all think we should follow this, man? Let's make this a collective thing, man. So that way, you know.
I'm with it. And anytime we can get a group of brothers, you know, from various backgrounds together, speaking positivity, knowledge, and wealth, I'm here for it every day, all day.
Yeah. When that next event, Leverage?
So we're looking at October 20th at House of Cigars Factory in Addison or Farmers Branch, Texas, right off of Midway and 635.
Okay.
Looking to do that from about 6:30 to 8:30. You know, it's an awesome place. If you don't, like smoking, I'm sorry. I apologize in advance. But this is just, I know the owners. They awesome people. They have hand rolled cigars. When you walk into it's usually a lady in the back, and you'll see her literally going through the whole process. But it's an awesome place to chill at. October 30th or October 20th.
What is it about? What's going on there?
So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be discussing a lot of the things that we spoke on here. How to never pay capital gains tax again. How to, create your estate and have it bulletproof from lawsuits. How to turn, expenses into revenue. How to get a life insurance policy, but doing that, like I said, turning the expenses into revenue. In addition, having that life insurance policy be disability insurance. And when I say disability, I mean like I can't work and it's going to pay me out every month. Not affecting my death benefit. So we're going to be going to some different things. I got a brother who's should be showing up. He goes by the name of Rudy Frederico. He helps people actually buy into franchises, and he helps businesses turn into franchises. So if you have a restaurant and you like, hey, I think I want to franchise this, we'll be going over all of this information, and hopefully I can get some brothers on this call, somebody on here to pop up and give some game on some real estate. So it's an entire wealth building situation where we're going to just be discussing how you can create transcendent wealth. I don't want to use generational wealth. I mean, transcendent. You'll see it right now in our lifetime, and then it's going to grow exponentially into our kids' life.
No. I definitely be there to support, man. You know what I'm saying? I like to see us out here doing different things, man. So I definitely come in and show my face or whatever. Whatever I need to do, I'm there, bro.
October 20th, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I just want people. The beautiful part is as long as we fellowship, everything else happens. All the other information happens when you have a group of like-minded people who prioritize progress, like this collective here, and like the networks that I know we individually have. We really need to just focus on the congregation and the fellowship because, I mean, brother, you're going to I get game, all day, every day. I learned so much just now just about, I do banking, but Jarrell, he's taught me a lot just about private lending and him, going over some of the deals and some of the things that he does, the criteria he has set up, just having these conversations. Jason just broke down so much in a little bit of time. And all we were doing is just sitting here, fellowshipping.
Yeah.
That's real, man.
So how to pay less taxes. That was this week. So what about next week, guys? What's up? So many different areas we can touch on, honestly.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, this is real estate. Why don't let's do something? Let's bring it back to real estate for a minute. Let's show some people how to earn, and then we'll go back to showing them how to save.
That sounds good to me.
What you showing, Lenny? When he got on his screen, you know what he's doing.
he got. Lenny,
There you go.
I don't think he knows he was doing it though. But yeah, I'm definitely with that. Show him how to earn, man. No, I'm with that. So,
I'm here because I don't want to talk the next time. I just want to sit back and take notes.
Man. Listen, everybody that's on the call, man, like, share, subscribe, man. If you guys got questions, man, throw your questions out for it. Let's ask you a question real quick before we jump off, man.
Let's do the next week. Let's do the bare minimum of breaking into real estate with wholesaling.
Yeah, we do that. We can do that.
Let's do the bare minimum of that. Because I think that's what a lot of people are coming on that are listening and probably asking questions, trending from those beginning questions that came in. How do I get started? What do you think it's going to cost to get into it? I think we should ease into that on that level, and then we can stack from there.
Because let's be real.
How about we go through a deal?
Let's be real. Wholesaling is actually, like, you do it properly, it's free money. It's like no investment, no time investment. You do it properly.
You're a stockbroker.
Yeah.
You're a stockbroker.
It is actually the one of the risk-free ways to invest. So let's really dig into that. Yeah, I'm down with that.
Maybe even go through a deal, a quick deal, or some different things or something like that. So
that's why I like wholesaling, though, Jarrell. One of the reasons I always wanted to go work on Wall Street. Okay, but things changed. I went to the Marine Corps, came back, but whatever. So when I got into real estate and I figured out what wholesaling was, this was back in 2004 when I started. That's when the big, the old heads were around, Ron LeGrand and John Alexander, all those old people when I got started. But to me, it was like trading stock.
Yeah, it felt like that.
Yeah, because the only difference is that then I also had a piece of paper that was tangible. Stock ain't even that.
No, it is.
Right?
It most definitely isn't.
That's right. Yeah. I get in, I get into it at a low price, and I get back out at a higher price. That's what day trading is.
That's really what it is.
Yeah,
about getting it at the price that you can sell it at. That's one thing that that's really is diving into that. Yes, I got some man. Man, please just dive into that. Wholesaling the do's and don'ts.
And one of the things,
I like that, Jay.
I know Jarrell be seeing some of them deals like, oh, they don't make no sense.
What?
I never lend on that deal.
Man. I had so one of the things I wanted to ask you brothers about was so me personally, my first dabble into real estate was actually through REITs, the Real Estate Investment Trust. Just for the fact that I'm not a licensed securities advisor, but for me it was I didn't have the time. I do insurance and stuff, so I didn't have the time to go out and do the heavy lifting aspect of finding the deals that these brothers on here are so experienced at doing. But that was something that how I got into the real estate industry, because then it was like, all right, well, this company here, they own this shopping center that I visit all the time. Oh, it just so happens I can go buy into that, and they're paying, these are situations they pay the rent. They're legally obligated to pay it. So just as far as from my own personal experience, low barrier entry into the real estate.
Right there is a whole side that is another piece of wholesaling and whatnot that I myself have never done. So you're going to bring a lot. You're going to bring more than you think tomorrow's next week's discussion. Things with that right there, because that is very. Go ahead.
Yeah, that REIT conversation though. We definitely have a gentleman that we supposed to be doing one with. Pretty soon, man. Mr. Breeze. He sent me some information on it, man. So I'm really kind of wrapping my head around it myself. Like my thing is, man, I have to understand some different things before I get started or investing any of my money. You know what I'm saying? So I know real estate, but this REIT is something totally. It's another part to it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
it's the more advanced. You actually jumped in more advanced than like the
I'm gonna tell you, but here's the reason why I say it. Here's the reason why I say it. for you guys, because you guys are actually involved in the deals, you know about depreciation, amortization. You know all of these different facts. For the average person, they're only gonna know, oh, it's this mall. Oh, that's where the Sprouts is. That's where the Piggly Wiggly, whatever the case is. I know that. Oh, so this company owns this shopping plaza where there's a Kroger and a Target.
Yeah. I definitely know. I would say probably 90% I can say, okay, I definitely understand it. But it's the other 10% that you don't know. And sometimes you got to actually do the deal so you get the other 10%. But I want to do as much as I possibly can on my side. And then, okay, now we make a decision. You know what I'm saying? So the thing now is basically put it on the table and just work it through every single thing. Okay, as much as I possibly can. Then I make a decision at that point if I'm going to do it or not. You know what I'm saying? If that's something you guys are interested in, man, we can definitely get him on the call, man, because he know a lot more about it than I do, to be honest.
Yeah, get him on here, man.
Yeah, we're gonna do next week, Lenny. You didn't hear. We're gonna do Hope. Can you hear us, Lenny?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, we're gonna do wholesaling, basically wholesaling 101.
Do's and don'ts.
Going down.
Do's and don'ts.
Yes, sir.
So if you guys want to do that, we can do another day or whatever the case is. I can get him on so he can walk us through what we talking about doing. And the more people in the area, man.
Yeah, let's start with next week. Let's just do the wholesaling.
Do the wholesaling and then follow up. We already got plans. We
only have an hour. We only have an hour, honestly.
Absolutely.
So let's do it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's a 3.5 hour
conversation. That's 3.5 day conversation.
That's a seminar, man. Let's go.
It is, bro. Listen, man, I learned something from each one of you guys every time we sit down, man. Thank you for your time, bro.
Thank you. Thank you for having us, man.
All right.
Jarrell. Salute.
All right, fellas. Later.
Salute. Be careful out there, Lenny,
man.
Lenny out there in the streets,
man.
Man,
I'm on my way to the dispensary. I gotta run. It closed at 8.
Oh, man.
I gotta get my meds, man.
I'm gone, man. I'm gone.
Be easy.
Y'all be blessed.
All right. Salute.
Yep.
All right, brother.